Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Ethera Grave by Essa Hansen. This is a book coming out July 18th, 2023. It's from Orbit and it's a sci-fi. I received this book from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. It is book 3 to these two big boys, Nofek Gloss and Azura Ghost. Two books that I clearly really like because I own them. Reviewing the third book in a trilogy is weird because pretty much everything is a spoiler for books 1 and 2. So this is more of a spoiler-free trilogy as a whole review. If you want a sci-fi series that is complex, intimate, dark, unafraid, and action-packed, this book will nail all those requirements directly on the head. Book 1 is obviously setting the stage. It's focused mainly on one character, Caden, and his trials as a child and his growing up. Not really a child. I think he's like 14. I'm trying to remember. And it's definitely not a book for children. There's a lot of blood and guts in it. There's a lot of violence. There is some emotional trauma. It's quite dark and very, very heavy. And then you have Azura Ghost, which is more space opera-y in a sense, in that it's got a lot more kind of about what the first book was building to. The first book was almost like a revenge story. Caden trying to figure out what was going on, why the thing that happened to him happened, trying to get revenge on the person that did it to him. Book 2 is more hopeful, and it definitely introduces a bigger conflict, one that you find out was kind of tied into what happens in the first book. It's very, very clever and very, very fun. Book 2 is actually my favorite of the trilogy. And then the final part is just as compelling as the first two. It's a stunning climax, really, bringing to a satisfying conclusion, the conflicts and alliances, plans, loves, and fears developed in the first two. The characters we love from the first two are all present as well, and while they are already fully fleshed out, they are put through even more emotional and physical trials and emerge, well, I'm not going to tell you. In Nofek Gloss, Hansen wasn't afraid to confuse you, to confound you, to throw a barrage of new words and concepts at you. By Ethera Grave, though, you feel as if you're part of their multiverse, almost part of the crew. No one in this series is simple or an archetype or a trope. Everybody is so complex and so compelling. The characters are as complex as the world building. They aren't so much morally gray as incredibly multifaceted. We also have tons of normalized queer, disability, and neurodiversity rep, and an alien monster that is somehow adorable. Just like my little buddy here. Oh, so cute. We have a small love story, a found family, a badass spaceship, sibling rivalry, a villain you understand and definitely can't hate, and a collection of humanoid alien species. It has so many of the great tropes of the genre while remaining fresh and most certainly not tropey. It's a fantastic trilogy that I can't recommend enough. I can't really say much else because I would be like spoiling things. So this is a short review, which feels kind of disingenuous given like how kind of chonky the trilogy is. But again, I wouldn't want to spoil anything for anyone, as part of the fun of the books is that moment where you grasp what the heck is going on. My favorite characters, of course, are C and Thry and Lita. And my favorite book of the two, as I said, is actually book 2. But book 3 is also fantastic. 5 out of 5 for the whole series. Thank you so much, Orbit, for the e-arc. I really appreciated it. It's funny because I was like, oh, it's going to be coming out soon. I looked at NetGalley like a couple weeks ago and it was like coming out in July. And I was like, oh my God. So I had to like push everything kind of aside to read it because I was so into it. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be buying the third book on my thick paperbacks here. So yeah, thank you, and I hope that review is helpful if you were considering ever picking up Nofek Gloss. I must say, these covers are so pretty. Like, they're so pretty. Look at the spaceships. They're so cool. And this one, too. Anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you later.